fine. But yes, certainly maybe Josiah and Thelma will get married one day and they'll have a great first playdate story. Yeah. So as Elizabeth said, is this really loud or is it just me? It feels loud. Okay. As Elizabeth said, today we're going to think about creating some calm in the chaos. And while, like Rachel's life with the newborn twins, and that's some chaos. And I don't come here thinking that I have all the answers, and I certainly don't come here thinking that like everything I say is going to be helpful or work for you. These are just some of the things that I've sort of picked up that have helped me over the years that I was like, oh, I should share that because that helps me like come back to the calm. So the very day that Robin emailed me to kind of solidify the details for this talk, it was Cowboy Day at preschool. Josiah insisted on wearing his jeans and flannel shirt, even though it was going to be 85 degrees. We had to find the Uni Kuni Cha Wild West CD because it was perfect cowboy music. I had a health screening just to do some blood work at 9:30, and I was fasting, so I blamed some of it on that. I don't do well without food. I had a 90-minute staff meeting at the Y that started at 10:45. I needed to have then Josiah stay for lunch bunch at preschool because I wouldn't be there to pick him up in time. But I needed to pick him up early because we had gymnastics in Knoxville at 12:45. I got to preschool and realized his packed lunch was still in the refrigerator. Awesome. I rummaged through my purse, found some peanut butter crackers, a Larabar, and an applesauce pouch and said, good enough, enjoy. So sorry. We're driving out of the parking lot, and sure enough, the Cowboy CD is still playing in my van. Turn around, go deliver that. Get to the health screening, they don't have my name on the list. They work me in, my numbers are fine. I go to my meeting, I pick Josiah up, we get to gymnastics, thankfully no longer in a cowboy costume. And I totally just laughed because Robin was like, creating calm in the chaos, right? I said, well, I certainly have the chaos part down, let's do this. So, as a fitness instructor and a Jesus follower, I know that chaos is not like what he wants. It's not good for us. It's not healthy. And so as we begin today, I do just want to pray that, dear Jesus, what is said here is just helpful to someone in some way. Maybe a little piece here or a little piece there, but whatever is said, it's that we want to be calm. We are not meant to live in chaos. We want to enjoy these lives that you've given us and all the blessings that we have. And we want to create space for you, most importantly. Because when life gets crazy and chaotic, I know that sometimes you're the first one that misses out in my life. And I apologize for that. And I hope just in this session that people can hear something new, maybe apply something to their lives, but most importantly, just bring them closer to you. Amen. So as Elizabeth told you, here's some of my crazy life. With the Wake Forest Sports, we go to a lot of sporting events. We do homeschool. We run a little homeschool enrichment program at our house on Tuesdays, Spanish arts, games, and exercise. So that's the little bull picture. And then, yeah, the two boys who wanted to put shaving cream all over their bodies. It's a little crazy at my house, but it's all good. We're going to start with a quote from a classic children's novel. Never hurry and never worry, said, anybody know? Not Dr. Seuss. My favorite little 8-legged arachnid to a special little pig, Charlotte's Web, indeed. I became really passionate about this because every time people ask me, like, oh, how are you doing? I'd be, I'm good, crazy busy, but good. And then I kept thinking, well, wait, can I really be both? You know, crazy busy and good at the same time? How many times have you ever been in a hurry and you've been, like, really happy about it? Not. So I kind of was like, you know, I think there's something to this calm space, slowing down kind of idea that maybe we need to dig into a little deeper. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to take all my advice and direction from fictional talking animals. Let's go to the Bible for this. Like, there's this verse in Corinthians, something about God being not a God of disorder, but a God of peace. I was like, okay, found it. And the whole thing is about multiple people talking and speaking in tongues and multiple languages, and I'm like, yeah, not quite what I was going for. And then the very next line is like, women should not speak in church. I thought, we're just gonna let that verse be. We're gonna try and find something different because we're trying to not create chaos here. So we're gonna start with the very simple Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. We're gonna close our eyes and just simply sit for a moment. That's really hard for those of us who are always on the go with a to-do list a mile long to simply sit. And while it's simpler, it's also way more uncomfortable. But I have heard that a speaker doesn't have a good message unless something makes you uncomfortable, so check, good. We're just gonna sit. Elizabeth and Robin thought I was going to speak. We're going to sit in silence for 45 minutes. I'm kidding. But I want you to picture relaxation, right? How does that feel in your body to just sit for a moment? Take a nice big exhale and breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now, we'll come back to this, I promise. It gets better. But we're going to flip that, and I want you to picture chaos in your mind. How do you define chaos? What does chaos in your life look like? Right? Eek. Craziness. Dictionary will call it, you can open your eyes if you have it, complete disorder, confusion, disarray, commotion, havoc, mayhem. Some of these are some really fun words. Bedlam, upheaval, pandemonium, right? We all have chaos in our lives. But that is not how we were meant to be. There's also a second definition that comes from the world of physics, if anyone's a science guy. It says that it's behavior so unpredictable as to appear random. But chaos, I think we can all probably agree, is not random, right? The enemy wants us to be chaotic, and he wants us to have a lack of focus and going in every which direction. And that's not what God intended for our lives to be like. So we're going to land here in this verse instead. Isaiah 32:18. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. So we're going to go through some practical ideas here, how to create some calm in your chaos. And the beautiful thing about thinking about how we define chaos is that we get to decide what we label as chaos. So the very first thing is just a little change in our perspective, right? It's that acceptance that we're not in control. Isaiah 55:8, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord, right? Sometimes things happen. Husband unexpectedly comes home from work early, or a kid gets sick. Those are things that we can't, plan for, and sometimes that feels like chaos, right? But if we take a step back, and we simply take our mind to say, wait a minute, let me not turn into this fury, frenzied person because all of a sudden my plans aren't working the way I wanted them to. We can say, you're right, that's not chaos. I'm going to see it as a blessing and go from just a different mind shift. So that's going to be your very first, change your perspective. Does this really have to be identified as chaos? Now, setting those surprise, unexpected things aside, let's go to normal, everyday life, right? How many of you guys feel like your everyday, normal life feels like a fire hose you can hardly control, kind of spraying every which way, trying to put out every fire you can, crazy? Anybody else, or just, okay, good. We have some people like that too. Excellent. Is anybody in here a firefighter by chance? Husband, yes, good, but no one here is. Excellent. Please turn to your neighbor and say, I am not a firefighter. You are not a firefighter, right? Back when things went downhill in the Garden of Eden, did God say, you'll have to work hard on the land? Yes. Did he say there would be pain and childbirth? Yes. Did he say, hey ladies, you're gonna have to run around with like a chicken with your head cut off and go do crazy things on your supermom list? No. He did not. You are not firefighters trying to put out fires. We are not firefighters. Life is not an emergency, right? Peace. Chaos was nowhere in God's original design. And I'm sure Elizabeth and Robin are both like, oh, I thought you were gonna get into like movement and breathing and relaxation and meditation. Like I said, we're gonna get to that, but I do just wanna do some practical things first that I hope will be helpful. Because no matter how long you sit in silence and have that beautiful time, if the second you open your eyes, you've got hungry children and loads of laundry on the couch and toys everywhere, like those few moments of magic are worthless. So, some practical things about chaos and life. Oh yes, there's your firefighter picture, sorry. You're not a firefighter. Make sure you keep that image in your mind today. We're gonna talk about some systems and routines. And this is just the type A in me. If this is too like legalistic for you, just roll with us for a little bit. But having a like order of things and having a system kind of gives you a little bit of space in like the less chaotic version of life. And I forgot to mention, I should have told you, there will be notes for you, so you don't have to write all this stuff down. Yes, Lori, just sit and listen. I should have started with that. No need to write everything down. There are notes and resources and things, which I'll get to at the end. But, starting with systems and routines. Having a morning routine is huge. And this sounds really crazy, but let's start with laundry, because where else do you get to talk about laundry besides at mom's groups? How many of you guys do laundry like once a week and that's it, you have a laundry day? Okay, how many of you guys do like laundry almost every single day? Okay, I was a once a day kind of person for a while, but then I tried this whole like almost every day kind of thing, and it's awesome. So it's a little crazy, but like as soon as I wake up, literally, I roll out of bed, I put in my contacts, and then I go start a load of laundry, okay? Then I go start, I don't drink coffee, but tea or hot water with lemon, whatever. You start that, and then it's like, I'm going to unload my dishwasher because it's clean. We'll get to that from the night before. I put my clean dishes away while you're waiting for the coffee. It's like your reward. You can't have your coffee until you've got your clean dishes put away. Then you have your coffee, you can have some quiet time, you can make your home really cozy, light some candles, whatever you'd like to do to make it your home a haven. And then you can continue on into a workout, switch your laundry to the dryer right after that, then shower, dress like you're getting ready for the day. I know that doesn't always happen, but it's helpful. And then check your computer one time in the morning. We'll get to that too. But that's sort of my ideal routine. Please know that we never make it through that whole thing before the boys are up, and it's a little crazy. But just having that sort of morning system in my mind helps me. And honestly, having the laundry done before I leave for preschool is amazing. I don't know, it's just like such a weight off my shoulders. I am not a fan of laundry. So the fact that we're done and we're like going out the door when we get back from dropping him off, we have homeschool time, and it's like, I already have my chores done for the day. Sweet. So, organization with morning routines. How to have a good morning routine, you have to have an evening routine. This is something fun we do when Chris calls on his way home from work. They have a 5-minute pickup playlist, just a couple of songs that they like don't get to listen to any other time, and they know that like I get to play their fun music that mommy doesn't always like. And then they pick up the house, and we kind of get it like reorganized. So having a little reward for the boys to like start their pickup playlist is always fun. And we kind of go into that evening routine. Obviously, those are not my children, but I thought that picture was really cute. Because I was like, oh, you put a little cute picture of your children, and then when their book bags aren't there, you're not like, oh, I want to kill you. You remember like, oh yeah, you're cute. Let's go find your book bag. Genius. So John, thank you. You're cute. Put your book bag up. But then in the evening, make sure that you have like packed lunches at night, closed down the kitchen, got everything put away, your dishwasher started, so that before you go to bed, you open the dishwasher, the dishes can dry, right? Because then when they're in the morning, they're all ready to be put away because they're dry overnight. It's beautiful. Laying out your clothes. I how should I say this? I love working out in the morning. I do. I think if I try to wait to work out, then I just don't get it done. So I'm a big fan of working out in the morning. I know they say you can work out whenever, but getting it done in the morning is so good. So I just, when I'm doing my laundry, I have three workout outfits, right? Same three things, shirt, bra, shorts, socks, all of it together on a little shelf. And so I only have 3 different workouts that I rotate through like the entire time, because no one sees me. I work out in my house and it doesn't matter. But then they're all together and I don't have to spend time deciding what I'm gonna wear. When I'm doing my laundry, one of those sets always just gets tossed to the other side of my bed and it's right there waiting for me in the morning when I'm ready to get up. So again, just having things set up and ready to go is huge. When we get to to-do lists, writing in your gratitude journal, that's always a good thing at the end of the day as well to add to your routine. But the to-do list is another huge thing. So you have a master to-do list where you brain dump everything you need to do, right? Chaos comes when you feel like there's so much to do, right? So you have this master list. I keep it on my phone. This is a note or an app called Awesome Note, which I love because it's super pretty and I can, have all these folders. One of the reasons I love it though is that I have my top folder is Bible pray every day. And so when people say, oh, will you pray for me? Or I tell someone I'm gonna pray for them, like I can write it down and set a reminder and follow up with them if they're having surgery or whatever, like super, super handy. To put that in my note, but then there's also my master to-do list in there. The key to not feeling chaotic is to pick 3 to 5 things on a daily basis to do. And I write them down on a different piece of paper because if I find myself going back to my phone to look at my to-do list, then I feel overwhelmed because there's so many things to do. And then I get distracted because I, hop on something else that I don't need to be hopping on social media. So my suggestion is that at night, for your evening routine, you take a moment, you pick the 3 to 5 things you want to do, and you write them on a Post-it note. Or I also have this little clipboard chart. I'm super big dork and I love Excel. I can't help it, but yes, you can have a chart. I don't use these all the time. In fact, the reason that I went this route was because this thing fell out of a folder, and I haven't used it for probably 2 years. But I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that was really helpful. I should totally use that again. And so that's sort of how this talk moved in this direction of practical things first, because I felt like God was sort of like, hey, remember this? This is good for lessening the chaos in your life because you have a plan. So yeah, I put my little to-do things in the blue box. And the other thing that I love about this was I was always thinking, oh, I gotta remember to tell Chris this when he gets home. Oh, when Chris gets home, I need to tell him this. And I always forget what I want to tell him. So I have a little section at the bottom where I also jot down things I need to tell my husband when he gets home. Super helpful. I know, can't help it. If I don't write things down, I totally forget about them. When you look at your to-do list, you want to think about what has to be done by a deadline, and what has to be done by you. Can I give you guys some freedom to delegate some things, right? I know that's really hard to do, and especially if you just want them done your way, but freedom to let them not be perfect and let someone else do them, a child or, paying someone to do something if possible. Meal planning. The kitchen isn't my favorite place, I'll tell you that. So I'm not gonna give you a whole lot of things about meal planning, but obviously planning your meals is awesome and helpful, and there are plenty of resources out there of people who can do that much better than me. But that is another piece to not feeling chaotic, right? Knowing what you're gonna have for dinner, starting it in the morning if you can, creating a little calm in the chaos. I do have a little spreadsheet for this as well. The boys do just love having the same thing every day, for the week, and it's erasable, so we can't change it, but we pretty much just leave it how it is. So they always look, okay, on Monday we're having this, this, and this, main course, veggies and fruits, and this is a resource that you'll get to. So there's also options down here that I made that you can cut apart and magnet on there or whatever, but just having a plan for what you're eating is helpful as well. Now, the next one is to allow space in your schedule, which seems sort of funny because when my friend looked at my phone one day as we were getting ready to plan a date, she was like, "Whoa, is that your calendar?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." Like, we do have a lot of things going on in our lives, but we do have, in terms of our priorities, our family is a priority. So we do a lot of things together. As Elizabeth said, we go to a lot of sporting events together on purpose. So we're busy, but we do try to be busy together, as if that makes it better, right? When you have a paper calendar, electronic calendar, Google Calendar, however you do it, the most important thing is that you just take a moment to ask yourself, like, what's essential? What is my priority in life? This is your life. Are you who you want to be? Kind of Switchfoot lyrics there for you. Like, there's so much opportunity that we've been given that you have to think, am I spending the time that he's given me to the best of my abilities? You guys have probably seen like the rock sand video, right? You put your big rocks in first, and then the sand fills in the cracks. If you try to put the sand in, the rocks don't fit, kind of thing, right? We're not firefighters. We have to know what our priorities are, so we are not trying to put out every fire there is and holding a hose that's just uncontrollable, running our lives. We want peaceful. We want to find that secure, undisturbed place of rest. This little quadrant of things comes from Amy Andrews' it's just like a free, or not free, it's a $2.99 ebook called Tell Your Time. And I found it to be kind of helpful because you can kind of decide here, okay, what are my non-negotiable activities? What are things that are optional? And then which things come at a fixed time and which things come at a flexible time? So you can use that to kind of sort out those priorities a little better and schedule your calendar, your life, a little better on what's most important, what's essential. Back here, this is also the Eisenhower matrix. You may have seen this with the what's urgent and what's important needs to be done first. If it's not urgent but important, then you need to schedule it. But if it's not urgent and not important, don't do it. If it's urgent but not important, that's where you can also delegate and let someone else have at it as well. So, we get up to the minimizing media. And believe me, this comes with no shame, no like, I'm not pointing fingers because I have been really horrible at this as well. But I have been convicted of it in the last year or so. Just the how many times do you check your phone kind of thing. That creates chaos because you're not focused, right? You're not focused and paying attention to the people who need you most, probably your children or your family in some way. So, the other thing that gives me chaos regarding media is emails, right? How many of you are like, I clear out my inbox as fast as I can, and how many are you like, I have thousands in my box? Yes. I was gonna like have you say your numbers, but I think Elizabeth is gonna win maybe. How many, like what's the biggest number you have of emails, unread emails? What's the number of unread emails in your inbox right now? 1,700? She's gonna look. Oh, we might have a challenger. There you go. Look at that. She got down to 0 in one day. Elizabeth, how many do you have? Unopened emails. Yes. Wow, 17,000. There you go. Yeah, I know, right? Like I couldn't even breathe. That would create so much chaos in my body. Like, oh. Exactly. So I put in a couple of tools here that can perhaps be of assistance. Like there's something called unroll.me, right? Unroll.me. If you put in your email address and it tells you how many things you're subscribed to, and if you no longer want to be subscribed to it, you just click it and it automatically unrolls you from all of the things at one time.
You can roll them up so you get the ones you want to keep. It sends you one email a day
Yes.
with all of them.
Yes.
And you can just scroll through and look
Yes.
at it.
So, yes. That will be in the list of resources as well, unroll.me, but it's good stuff. Helps clear out your inbox. It helps clear out your email. That creates chaos. Yes. The other thing, this was something I caught on to just once too. How many of you guys use Gmail? Right? Gmail users, okay. How many of you use the priority inbox? Do you guys know the priority inbox setup? So there's a little video on priority. Most people have like social promotions and whatever else it's called, right? If you change that, it'll set up so it's unread at the top, things that you've tagged yellow in the middle for important, and then everything else is below. So if you have things that are important, like if you have everything tagged in different colors, like you can sort of sort through and see things, but this separates them completely, and you can rename the sections and do different things with it, but that's just how I have mine set up. So if email organization creates chaos in your life, this may be a tip for you today. Yeah, I know, sorry, there was like a random screenshot. I kind of looked through them and I was like, yeah, I think those are all like acceptable emails to share with people. I don't see anything completely crazy. Fifth thing, mastering your mind is a way to create some calm in the chaos of your life. Now, there's two different pieces to this. One being, there's something called decision fatigue. I don't know if you guys know that, like how many unimportant decisions that you have to make on a daily, or you don't have to make, that you make on a daily basis, and it makes you tired and cranky. So trying to separate what the important decisions are that you need to make from things that are not important anymore is so helpful. So capsule wardrobes, I'm a huge fan. There's tons of things on Pinterest and all over the internet of like picking clothes that always go together, no matter like what color they are, so that you have just a few clothes as opposed to an entire closet stuffed full of stuff that you don't really like and like kind of wear because it's there, but just pick things that look good on you, feel good in, and then go with that. Even if you're wearing the same pieces, you put them together differently, and you just, less decisions on how you're gonna get dressed, how you're gonna do your hair, how, just be free. Be free from all the decisions. Then the second type of way to master your mind here that I like to think about is from worry. Alicia and her song picking today was priceless. Fearless is like one of my words, and like I struggle with anxiety, but have come a very long way, I will say. There are some things that make my mind chaotic, right? One of them is driving. I've been in, which is a challenge because you have to do that every day almost. I've been in 5 major car accidents, not like fender benders, but like car totaling accidents. When I was a child, when I was in junior high, when I was in high school, when I was 7 months pregnant, and the most recent one, those of you who know me already know this story, sorry that you'll have to hear it again, was almost 2 years ago. I was hit by a semi on Interstate 40 at interstate speeds, and I pinballed between the semi and the guardrail 6 times. The airbags never came out. Every window broke. I was like getting hit in the face with glass. And I just knocked my mic off. When I jumped out of the car, like I was like just gushing blood and spitting glass out of my mouth. I could feel it. And then that's what I looked like. The very next morning, that picture of my face, not a scratch, not a bruise, the only little teeny tiny scratch was that little teeny tiny thing on my leg, which was like so superficial and not even a big deal. Worry comes in different ways. Chaos shows up in different ways. But I knew that chaos in my mind of like, are you staying in your lane? And how many times have I had my, how many times has the blinker turned when I'm turning into another lane? What's on the radio? Where am I? Like all these questions every second while I'm driving have become much better now. However, all because of Jesus, and if, I just wanted to share this story because God is totally awesome and I can't even explain it, right? Like if people don't believe in a God, I just want to like carry that picture around because I have no idea, right? Given logic, given science, like there is no way, right? So, chaos, however it looks in your life, we take captive every thought. If that's a mind thing, 2 Corinthians 10:5, take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. When we do all of these things, whether, home organization, whether it's media, whether it's worry, there's so many things that create chaos in our lives, right? I use this little tool mostly with kids, so the little hand has 2 hands in it and the end is for kids, but I think it works for adults too, right? Anytime you're having those big emotions where you're anxious or where you're afraid or where you're angry, whatever it may be, feeling chaotic, we always go through this. Number 1, it's not okay to hurt someone else. That's mostly for the little kids, hopefully, but don't hurt anyone. Number 2, use your words, right? Use your words to explain how you're feeling. Take 3 deep breaths. Number 4, you've seen the movie Inside Out, his anger, his hair goes out, like, just calm your anger down. And then number 5, ask for help, raise your hand. So those 5 little things, I just wanted to also give that permission to ask for help, right? There's that stigma with counseling and therapy, but big fan, you need to talk things out because when you keep them inside, it only creates more chaos. So, with that said, we finally get to the good part again, where we get to breathe and just be. How to create the calm in your chaos seriously can come from simply sitting and being still. So I do want you to just take a moment, and we're going to think about this verse a few more times. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. Peaceful, secure, undisturbed rest. Everybody take a big breath, exhale, and close your eyes with me. We're going to just sit for a moment. You might take your arms, if you have the table in front of you, and let your arms come out in front, palms up. Shoulders can relax that way. Your hands can be open to whatever he's ready to give you here. Ready for his blessings to just pour down on you. As we soften the muscles in our face. We feel our arms become heavy. And perhaps we roll our shoulders down and back and just sit a little taller. Breathe in through our nose, out through our nose as well. And we just let that verse roll over in our hearts. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. Jesus, we just ask you to come into our homes. To help us lessen the chaos, however that appears in our lives. Help us create more space. More time together with those we love. Perhaps we consider technology and its role in our family. While we're quiet and occupied, that's completely different from true peace and rest. If we're using it to escape our lives because it feels so overwhelming and chaotic, help us know that we can run to you instead. If it's our to-do list that causes chaos, help us know that our to-do list will never end. And we have to accept that and find a way to do small pieces of it at a time. Because you've given us a specific time here on earth. They say we're not done till we're dead. So let us just be content with what we do get done on a daily basis without feeling overwhelmed or guilty. Clearing out our calendars. Help us plan for space and margin. Times where we're really doing nothing on purpose. It takes time to see the joy in the journey instead of just catching a snippet of the scenery as it streaks by. We don't want to always be rushing our kids into the car, shuttling from one thing to the next. Help us decide whether our current commitments are allowing our priorities in life to flourish or flounder. As we let you into all of these decisions, Holy Spirit, we just welcome you. We know that God designed Sabbath rest on purpose. Needed, not a reward or optional, but because we need peace. Calm, secure, undisturbed homes and places of rest. That in all these thoughts, that they're not done to be more efficient or more productive, but that we open to create more time and space so that we can hear, see you, recognize you in our lives, knowing that that's what's most important. We love you so much. Amen. Let those eyes flutter open. Perhaps wiggle your fingers a little bit, sitting still. Taking a couple breaths. Feeling a little calmer, I hope. I definitely didn't want to leave you guys with a whole to-do list of things right now that you want to go do. So what I did was made just a special little page with a simple little link, everydayfaithandfitness.com/calminthechaos. And you'll find a whole page of notes there, as well as tons of links of these printables and little video YouTube clips of how I set things up. Not that I did, but just that I watched when I set them up myself. So if you're interested in one particular piece or something, that will be there for you to look through. I'll have Robin email that to you so you don't have to worry about it. Robin will send you that link. So we will do that. But I'm going to close with a final thought that we don't have to strive to create this calm in our chaos, right? What were the first 3 words of the verse? My people will, right? This is his promise to us. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest, right? This is how he designed it. Chaos was not part of his plan. He designed us for rest and happiness. So anytime you feel the heat, right, the chaos comes crashing in, burning you, please remember, I am not a firefighter. Thank you guys so much. If you have questions or want to talk, you have a great day.